All right, we are live. So welcome back to Dapp University. So today we got a lot to talk about in our live stream today. The number one thing that is just absolutely insane that happened since our live stream we did last Friday was this story coming out about a blockchain developer who made $820,000 in a single transaction with flash loans. So I'm going to talk about that in this video, kind of break that down. People ask me all the time, hey, what can you do with flash loans? Are they good? Are they bad? Well, we're going to dive into all of that in this video today. So we're going to do that. We're going to look at a lot of other things that have happened in the live stream. So our last one we did on Friday. Can we do this on this channel Monday through Friday in the morning? Just turn on notifications, subscribe. You're going to find out about those whenever we go live. We're kind of tweaking our live stream time here a little bit. But just make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications. You'll find out about those whenever we go live. So, if you're new around here, hey, I'm Gregory, and on this channel, I turn you into a blockchain master. So if that's something you're interested in, then smash that like button down below for the YouTube algorithm and subscribe to this channel. And if you want to learn how to master blockchain step-by-step, start to finish, then head on over to dappuniversity.com/bootcamp to get started today. So we got people jumping in the chat here. We got Ethan, Culture Eyes, Lee, Machiavelli, Andre, hope I'm saying that right. Landon, Yomi, hope I'm saying that right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, so let's get into this. Let's talk about this story of the developer who made $820,000 in a single transaction with flash loans. All right, so let's set the stage for this so that you understand all the critical pieces to make sense of what happened here. So one big thing that everybody's been talking about over the past week has been Apecoin. That just launched. I even see some tweets going around online about this, like is like in the Financial Times like that talking about Apecoin, and people were like, "Oh my gosh, this is like reality." That this is what we're talking about in major financial publications, but that's the world that we live in right now, especially with crypto. So, anyways, let me just see here, screen plus camera. Apecoin dropped last week. So Apecoin is the new cryptocurrency token for the Bored Ape Yacht Club collection. Okay, so if you're not familiar with Bored Apes, Bored Ape is one of the most popular NFTs on the blockchain. Okay, so they recently, the people who made Bored Apes also just recently acquired the CryptoPunks intellectual property, but they dropped a new crypto token called Ape, or Apecoin. Ape is the symbol. Okay, and this has been floating around. People have been super hyped about the Apecoin. It caused the Bored Ape Yacht Club floor to kind of jump and then quickly fall. People were kind of worried it's going to be an exit pump for Bored Ape holders, try to get them to monetize their thing. I'm not going to get drama about that, but that's kind of what's been going around, or some suspicion, I should say. So maybe what happened with this, with the flash loan? So basically, we had a developer who was figured out that you could take out a flash loan to make a profit with these Bored Apes. Okay, so I'm gonna pull this straight from my screen here. All right. So, with the anticipation skyrocketing around Bored Ape Yacht Club's launch of a new token, an unknown user gamed the system and received more than 60,000 Ape tokens. After paying off the flash loan and fees, they netted $820,000, so almost 300 Ether. So, basically, let's talk about what happened. So first of all, let's set the stage for a flash loan. So what is a flash loan if you're not familiar? Well, basically, this is where you can borrow cryptocurrency on the blockchain as long as you pay it back in the same transaction, okay? So basically, what does that mean? That kind of can cause your brain to explode. So basically, you can borrow money on a blockchain basically for free as long as you pay it back instantly in the same transaction. So blockchains supports transactions. If I send cryptocurrency from my account to yours, let's just say I send you like 1 Ether, all right, for a simple example. Although you'd have to have pretty good reason for me to send you 1 Ether, but let's just say I did that. That's a simple transaction. It's got one instruction, okay? Take Ether out of my account and send it to yours. So they can get more complicated than that. You can say like, add all these instructions. Like, okay, send Ether from this account to that account, and then while you're doing it, swap it from this token to that token. That's essentially what you're doing whenever you trade on Uniswap, for example, like a decentralized exchange. It's a complex transaction with multiple steps. It says like, take cryptocurrency out of my wallet, give it to Uniswap, and then Uniswap gives me a new token. That's 2 instructions, basically, okay? So how you create these complex transactions is with smart contracts. You create function calls that have multiple steps inside of them. That's what you do as a developer. So with that ability, you can plug in flash loans to add that as a step. So like the first step in your function call can basically be like borrow money, okay? And then you have all these other steps that are like do something with the money. Maybe it's trade it on a decentralized exchange. Maybe it's buy some Bored Apes, okay? And then the last step of that transaction is pay back the flash loan, okay? And basically, if you're able to pay that flash loan back, then the transaction will go through. And if you can't pay that flash loan back, then the transaction is going to fail and it doesn't execute at all. Because basically on Ethereum, whenever you're calling a function and you're including a transaction to a block, it's like you're the only person doing it at that given point in time. It processes one transaction at a time. So that's why you're able to borrow all this. So that's what this person did. And so basically they took out a flash loan, all right, that let them claim ape tokens, all right? And this article right here does a better job of explaining what's going on here. So the team behind Bored Apes allocated 150 million tokens, or 15% of the total Apecoin supply, to holders of Bored Ape Yacht Club and Mutant 8 Yacht Club collections, amounting to a staggering value of more than $800 million. So basically, each Bored Ape Yacht Club holder got 10,094 tokens valued anywhere between $80,000 and $200,000. Okay. But some have found a way to claim the airdrop using NFTs they did not initially own. That's the key here, all right? They took advantage of the specific way the airdrop works to carry it out, and they were very effective in netting more than $1.1 million in ape coins. I'm assuming that they're calculating that based on the difference in ETH price, maybe over the past few days. Maybe there's some discrepancy in how much this person claimed. Some articles are saying 820K. This one's saying 1.1 million. Either way, it's a lot of money. So the trick was the Apecoin airdrop was not handed out based on a snapshot of who owned Bored Ape Yacht Club at a specific time in the past. That was the major mistake. Pretty much every single airdrop that's happened in the past, they say, all right, we're going to look at everybody who's used the application or owned something prior to a certain date, right? Basically, that's like the Uniswap airdrop, which I was a recipient of, or like the ENS airdrop, 1inch, all this stuff. Lots of airdrops been a part of. Lots of airdrops have made $10,000 plus just from like using an application one time. I try to talk about those on this channel, what some opportunities are. I've actually got a video coming out pretty soon about a candidate I think is going to, where you probably see some airdrops in the future, so make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications. You're going to find about that video whenever we go live. But that's like classic. It's basically like you're supposed to say, all right, whoever's used the app before this date, that's who's eligible for the airdrop, and take a snapshot of that using the blockchain, use like a Merkle proof to claim, to prove all that stuff. But that's not what happened. So basically, there's this added a loophole. So if you gave someone your Bored Ape and you hadn't already claimed the tokens, they'd be able to claim your tokens. So that's the whole idea, was like, let's say I owned the Bored Ape and you just I sent it to you, you could do the claim. So that's where the vulnerability opens up to do this claiming with the flash loan. So that meant all the person had to do was get a hold of some Bored Apes that they didn't have yet to claim their tokens. And they just need to have possession of those for a brief moment. All right. And then they could claim the tokens straight away. So basically what happened is they were able to borrow the Bored Apes, claim the tokens, and then return them and pocket a massive, massive profit, because the claiming mechanism didn't require them to have owned these prior to a certain date. It just says you have to have them now. And because they're able to create a smart contract that lets you essentially just have them for a brief second with the flash loan and then claim the tokens, they didn't have to actually own them for anything longer than a single block, okay? So basically, for this maneuver, the person started finding a vault that contained 5 Bored Ape Yacht Club NFTs, which hadn't been used to claim the drop yet. So basically some virgin apes, it kind of sounds weird, but you know what I mean, that hadn't been used yet. And then this NFTX vault. So basically that lets them, it's a vault that contains different NFTs, okay? And then basically those vaults let you stake stuff to earn rewards. But what they did here, essentially they were locked up in a vault, not controlled by anyone in a party, they could be used to claim the airdrop. So they unlocked them. All right. They used a tool called a flash loan, which we've talked about, to borrow them from the vault. All right. And then basically possess them for a brief period of time and then claim them. Okay. And then pay back or return them back to the vault, get the tokens, and then swap the tokens for WETH. All right. And so you can see all the details of that here on Etherscan. You can actually see all this playing out in real time. Okay, so this was 4 days ago. So here was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's a transfer of all the Bored Apes. All right. And then you can see the transfer of the Bored Apes back to the wallet. Okay. All right. And you can see the claim of 60,000 ape coins. And then you can see swapping to Ether when they got done. All right, so this, of course, has raised a ton of controversy on like, hey, and I'm laughing about this. There's, of course, there's lots of people who are going to be think this is not good, especially if you're a Bored Ape holder, because there's a lot of controversy on was this just an arbitrage, was this an exploit, was it a hack, what was it? So there's lots of people who are arguing about this. So let me know in the comment section below or in the live stream chat replay. What do you think? Is this an exploit? Is it a hack? Is it an arbitrage? What are your thoughts on this? So basically, even though social media commentators hailed the incident as innovative arbitrage trade, security firm BlockSec disagreed. It labeled this attack that exploited an issue in the airdrop claiming mechanism. Okay. So the BlockSec team told the Block that based on its analysis, the user likely took advantage of a vulnerability in yesterday's airdrop event. Okay, so I'll put it this way. I would hate to be one of the teams who audited the contract for the airdrop. Okay, because I got a feeling they're in some hot water right now, not having caught the vulnerability that, you should have probably owned the Bored Apes before a certain date before you let people start claiming ape tokens willy-nilly. Now, of course, there could be some counter arguments to that to say, hey, well, that was a feature, not a bug. But I want to know if the audit reports disclosed the possibility of people using flash loans to claim that or not. So anyways, I'm not going to go hard on anybody. You know what I mean? This is a crazy Wild West time where sometimes you have to put something out there in the open in order for it to actually see what the real consequences are going to be. We see this all the time with different, DeFi exploits. There's really no way to test out DeFi or blockchain to see what the true vulnerabilities really are unless you just do it in production. People talk about test and prod all the time, and that's really the only thing you can actually do to totally figure out what the vulnerabilities are, because think about it this way. You could pay these auditors all this money in the world, and that's a good step. You should do that, all right? But there's truly nothing like something being out in production because of why? Incentives, okay? So think about paying somebody to audit a contract. Okay, so it's good to do that. Like I said, you should. But what's their incentive? Their incentive is to basically, do a good job and then try to do the best they can to make sure that there's no vulnerabilities. But they don't think exactly like someone who is trying to steal millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. Some auditors are really good. Okay, I'm not trying to throw auditors under the bus by any stretch of the imagination. What I'm saying is there's something totally different about, a quote unquote bad guy who really is trying to take or claim or profit a lot of money and has that real motivation. Okay, because they're gonna be able to see things that you may not otherwise do if that's your actual real motive and you think that you can do it. So that's the unfortunate reality of DeFi and all this stuff. We have to push it out there in order for those types of people, to really, that they're going to exist in the world. There's nothing you can do about that. As much as you would like to think that you could get rid of them one day, you absolutely cannot. And so the only way to actually battle test something is to put it out in battle. And those people are going to be highly motivated to kick the tires and see if they can take money from it. And if they can, then you're going to find out about it that way. And there's no real way to simulate that otherwise. So I'll put it this way. I'm not advocating anybody watching this channel to go take something that is not theirs with a flash loan for sure. But people ask me all the time, like, what can you do with flash loans? You know, this is definitely an example of somebody who used that to make a lot of money really fast. Somebody says it is totally a smart move. He or she worked within what is possible and legal. Somebody says code is law, bruh. Somebody says that's a smart MF. That's literally just abbreviated in the chat. A miscalculation by the team. It says it's good it happened and now people can learn. Well, that is something to think about it. You know, we can definitely take it as a learning for future airdrops. Somebody says I would have liked had a multiplier for being a holder since the mint, but we understood how it'd be difficult to confirm this since anyone could have transferred to a hard wallet along the way. Yeah, that makes total sense. And like I was saying before, some of the design for the airdrop that people think is a bug might have actually been a feature, but it's hard to know whether the implications of that were actually disclosed in an audit or whether they could foresee something like this actually happening. Somebody says, can you make money with flash loans without using some trick or to fool someone? Yes, of course you can. I'm not saying it's dead simple and easy, but of course you can. You can also use flash loans for things that are not arbitrage. You can do flash loans to things like multiply your yields in DeFi. Of course, it has some slight risks associated with it. It's one of the things we show a lot in the flash loan masterclass. Made plenty of videos about that on my channel. You can do things like do collateral swaps. You can do liquidations, all that type of stuff. You can do it to move assets around that you don't currently have, like a bridge loan, essentially. Somebody says flash loans themselves are available methods made real by technology. It's not meant to trick or fool. These companies just don't like it. Somebody says every time the news talks about flash loans, they keep up the words attacker or vulnerability, and you need to do something illegal to make that kind of... No, you don't need to do something illegal to make that kind of profit. So yeah, this was absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. All right, so let's take a look at let's see here. So what syntax or color schemes do I use for Sublime Text Editor? Basically, I use solarized dark, or sorry, light. No, wait, that's my terminal theme. I'm sorry, Monakai dark. Is learning solidity enough? Yeah, it's enough to get started for sure. All right, so let's look at a couple of things that have happened in the space since our stream yesterday. We got a ton of great stuff to talk about this week. I'm going to save some of that for tomorrow. All right, so we definitely got a lot happening in the space right now, especially with the ETH 2.0 merge coming up this year. I made a video early this week or last week talking about that. When I think that's going to come out, definitely go check that video if you haven't already. We got lots of people who are anticipating a June merge. I'm honestly going to be surprised if we see that. I think it's probably going to be later than that. I don't think it's going to quite come out exactly when people think it's going to, but I do think it's going to be this year. So that is definitely huge. I think we're seeing signs of that, especially interest in the ETH space. Okay. If everybody's been watching the crypto markets over the past weekend, we're starting to see some signs of life. I know I showed the Apecoin here a minute ago. But we are starting to see some signs of life for sure over the past 7 days across major cryptos, Bitcoin, ETH, and others. Okay. But I do want to focus on Ethereum because we are seeing the ETH to BCC ratio actually increase. Okay, so I'll put that up on my screen here. I'm trying to get my TradingView account back up to speed because I can show these types of things better. We can just check the simple ETH to BTC ratio on CoinGecko for now. All right, so you can watch the ETH to BTC ratio, what it's been doing for past several days. So basically, this is the ratio of the Ethereum price to Bitcoin price, okay? And we started to see this in an uptrend, all right? Let me just pull it up here. Local uptrend, let me pull it up here. All right, starting to see this kind of start to pop out into a local uptrend. I know that some of this has been kind of downtrendy, but the entire crypto market has been, kind of downtrendy since the beginning of the year. But this is what I'm trying to focus on right here, okay? So it's very likely that we're seeing kind of some ETH kind of get into people's on people's radar right now, right? That there's a lot on the scene for ETH this year, especially with the Ethereum 2.0 merge that's coming up, like I was talking about. It's kind of at the forefront of people's minds. What are the huge things to watch out for there are basically, that's when Ethereum becomes proof of stake. A lot of things get better. ETH becomes deflationary, assuming the network activity stays the same, all right? Because the triple halving is going to happen, or triple halving. Basically, the narrative for ETH is likely going to change, especially around the environmental friendly nature of ETH, okay? Because proof of stake versus proof of work. Bitcoin gets a ton of flack for being a proof of work blockchain that consumes too much energy. Well, you completely sidestep that problem with Ethereum getting rid of proof of work and moving towards proof of stake. Now, it's not going to make everybody happy, but it's a huge step in the right direction in terms of silencing that argument against blockchains. Okay, it's also huge for just like the future of Ethereum 2.0 arriving and being just bullish for ETH, like doing what it said it's going to do. And so I think for all those types of reasons, we're seeing ETH, get a lot of attention right now. And so I think that's a big potential why we're seeing ETH on the short term, outperform, and where we're seeing the ETH to BTC ratio climb. You can even see it here over the past 7 days. ETH like one of the biggest gainers in percentage terms, 15.9%. All right, even some of the smaller, or even some of the other alternative layer ones, like it's double digit. Like we're talking twice the amount of gains out of most coins. And I don't think it's a total accident that ETH is kind of in that position. Very, very, very blue chip. So definitely keep an eye out for that. We've got sorry, I just lost one of my things here. We got a lot of other stuff coming up on the scene here. Let me just pull this on my screen, my notes. Yeah, so definitely keep an eye on that. Sorry, I lost my notes on my screen here. It took me a second. Sometimes it's a lot harder to run these streams than you think it's going to with all the software. So we do see more and more crypto adoption. We see Airbnb CEO saying crypto is the most requested feature on the Airbnb platform. Okay, we've seen this type of stuff happen with multiple sort of Web 2.0 enterprises, Airbnb, eBay, all that type of stuff. And why is this so good? We're seeing all these like smaller use cases for crypto kind of begin to like take over, okay? Or demand for crypto supported. And what does this really do? It really helps. It helps crypto's network effect. So basically, the more you can do with crypto, the more places you can pay with it, the more useful it is, okay? And the more it's an actual money. One of the big problems one of the big kind of counter arguments to crypto, especially with the conflict going on in Europe right now. We're trying to be very sensitive too, but it's crypto is at the forefront of that conversation, so that's why I want to talk about it. Basically, having economic sanctions, all that type of stuff. People are like, hey, this is like a prime use case for crypto, especially when we're talking about like citizens of these countries, right? Like who just get sanctioned, and it's like, well, what am I gonna do? Like I just happen to live here, and now I can't. My money's my money's now limited. So it's like, well, that's what crypto's for, right? Like you have permissionless money. But some people's counter argument to that was like, okay, sure, yeah, you could get all this money in crypto, but what happens when you can't withdraw it? Like what happens when your bank account's sanctioned, or like, you get banned from a cryptocurrency exchange, you can't convert it to fiat currencies. Okay, what good does that crypto do you? Well, what if you could use that crypto to buy anything and everything that accepts digital payments? Okay, like what if crypto is now like with the standard user experience of any digital checkout is, you see a list of all the credit cards supported, and then your next one is like Bitcoin. Or your next one is like Ether. We already have this in multiple places, but what happens when that's the standard pretty much everywhere that accepts digital money? Well, then your crypto is way, 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 way more useful. Okay, you get sanctioned, then, well, you can still do a lot of stuff with it. If you can pay your rent, if you can buy your groceries, you can, do all that stuff, which you already can in many ways, but the more you can do that, the greater value proposition actually becomes, which makes it more, it gives them a bit more use cases, then that gives more demand to crypto, which is my thesis over time is as you create technology that has real benefits and you can increase the network effects like this, that can accrue to the value of the cryptocurrencies themselves and make crypto go up in terms of its value over time because of just basic supply and demand economics. Assuming that there's a limited supply and that the inflation rate is predictable, then that can cause, crypto to go up. So that's a huge, huge benefit right there. So let's see here. Somebody says, saw one view, staking rewards are expected to dramatically increase with upgrade because the reduction in staked ETH. I think the big reason there is the fees that are getting paid to the network. We could talk about that in one of our streams coming up soon. Have I looked at Lens Protocol, creating a social graph for a decentralized social media platform? Yeah, sure have. That's from the creator of Aave. So Lens Protocol is pretty awesome. We talked about it on this channel. We can look at that some more in some of our streams for sure. Do anything about something Polygon airdrop? I do not. Let's see. So just can't wait to pay my credit cards with my digital wallet. Yep, totally. Regulations, yep. Okay, let's see here. Somebody says, can you automate flash loans, arbitrage with Solidity smart contracts only? If not, which other languages do you need? So basically, whenever you're creating smart contracts for flash loans, it's typically you have two components. You have the contract that does, like I was talking about before, like in order to do a flash loan, you have to have multiple steps. You have to take out the loan, you have to do something with that money, and then pay it back. That's a function call. That's going to be inside of a smart contract that you create. But in terms of like deciding when to take that flash loan, let's say you're doing arbitrage, you typically need some sort of like thing that watches and like calls your smart contract. So it's got to like look to see if an arbitrage opportunity exists, and then talk to your smart contract to make that transaction. It has to be able to sign transactions itself. It needs a wallet, and so you need some sort of process to do that. That's going to be like some sort of script or maybe some sort of bot that you create. All right, and that could be in any variety of languages, from JavaScript to Python to whatever, Golang, doesn't matter. Somebody said, do you need code to host a script or monitor dexes and tokens to find arbitrage opportunities, or should I keep my eyes on everything? The most performant way is going to be to create your own bot or script. All right, everybody, that's all I got for today. As always, this is the crazy story of the guy who made $820,000, in a single transaction from the Apecoin drop. Let me know what you think in the comment section below in the live chat replay. Is this a exploit? Should this person be brought to justice? Is this illegal? Is it legit? Is it good? Let me know what you think. I'm going to see everybody kind of duke this one out in the comment section below. So, as always, smash that like button down below for the YouTube algorithm. Make sure you tune in to our live stream tomorrow. Turn on notifications. You're going to find out those whenever we go live. We're kind of tweaking our start time here. If you're as fast with this technology as I am, you want to get your hands dirty, how can you get started today? Well, you can definitely go to my YouTube homepage. You can find those free courses there, like Udemy courses, but they're totally free. Starting to put out a new one basically every week. All right. We just put out one on Friday talking about how to master Ethers.js. This is one of the most popular libraries for Ethereum development. All right, so make sure you check that out. We got a new one coming out this week. We're just cranking out content here, all right? Really trying to deliver the value for you all. So if you like those courses, you want to take the next step, or hey, maybe you want to take a master shortcut entirely, actually become a blockchain master step-by-step start to finish over at dappuniversity.com/bootcamp. You don't have to be an expert to get started today. Help people with zero coding experience become real-world blockchain developers in a matter of months. So that's all I've got. Until next time,